Welcome to Milwaukee Insights, where we explore the biggest geopolitical and financial moves reshaping the world today. In this episode, we delve into President Vladimir Putin's bold new move to potentially restrict the export of strategic materials like uranium, titanium, and nickel. What does this mean for the global economy, NATO, the US, and the EU? Stay tuned for deep insights into how this decision could ripple across the world. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and share this video to stay ahead of global news. The year 2024 has taken a dramatic turn. Russia, in a calculated move, has threatened to restrict the export of essential resources. Uranium, titanium, and nickel are all on the table. This announcement sends shockwaves through the global community. It is a stark reminder of Russia's influence. The world watches nervously. This is a high-stakes game of economic warfare. The potential impact is vast, and these materials are crucial for many industries. Nuclear power relies heavily on uranium. Titanium is vital for aerospace technology. Nickel is a key component in batteries and electronics. Disruptions to these supply chains could be catastrophic. Prices could skyrocket. Shortages could become the norm. This move by Russia is no accident. It is a direct response to Western sanctions. These sanctions were imposed after Russia's actions in Ukraine. Putin sees this export threat as a way to hit back. He aims to expose the West's dependence on Russian resources. It is a power play designed to sow division and uncertainty. The timing of this announcement is crucial. Global tensions are already high. The war in Ukraine continues to rage. The relationship between Russia and the West is at its lowest point in decades. By brandishing its resource dominance, Russia throws down a gauntlet. The world is now on notice. The conflict has entered a dangerous new phase. Russia's announcement lays bare a stark reality. The world is now forced to confront the extent of its dependence on Russian resources. The world is heavily reliant on Russia for critical resources. These resources are the lifeblood of modern economies, fueling everything from energy production to advanced manufacturing. These materials are not easily substituted. They are rare and often difficult to extract, making them invaluable to various industries. They are essential for key industries that power modern economies. Without them, the wheels of industry would grind to a halt, leading to widespread economic disruption. This dependence gives Russia significant leverage on the global stage. Let's consider uranium, a critical element in the energy sector. Russia is a leading producer of this radioactive metal. Its vast uranium reserves are a cornerstone of its geopolitical influence. It plays a crucial role in the nuclear fuel cycle. Uranium is the fuel that powers nuclear reactors, which in turn generate a significant portion of the world's electricity. Many countries, particularly in Europe, rely on Russian uranium for their nuclear power plants. This reliance makes them vulnerable to any disruptions in supply. Restricting its export would send shockwaves through the global energy market. The impact would be felt far and wide, affecting everything from electricity prices to stock market stability. Then there's titanium. Russia is a titanium powerhouse. This strong, lightweight metal is crucial for many high-tech applications. It possesses vast reserves of this strong, lightweight metal. These reserves are a strategic asset, giving Russia a dominant position in the global titanium market. Titanium is indispensable in the aerospace industry. Its unique properties make it ideal for use in aircraft and spacecraft. It is used in aircraft engines, airframes, and spacecraft. The aerospace industry relies heavily on titanium for its strength and lightweight. Any disruption in its supply would have serious consequences for global aviation. The grounding of planes and delays in aircraft production would be just the beginning. Nickel is another critical resource in Russia's arsenal. This versatile metal is used in a wide range of applications. It is a key component in stainless steel and other alloys. These materials are essential for construction, manufacturing, and many other industries. But its importance goes beyond traditional industries. Nickel is also a critical component in the green energy revolution. Nickel is essential for the lithium-ion batteries that power electric vehicles and renewable energy systems. As the world shifts towards sustainable energy, the demand for nickel is set to soar. As the world strives for a green future, Russia's nickel dominance becomes even more significant. The transition to renewable energy sources hinges on a stable supply of this critical metal. The Kremlin's message is clear. By controlling these essential resources, Russia wields considerable power on the global stage. Russia holds the keys to essential supply chains. This control allows it to influence global markets and political decisions. This grants them immense power. The ability to disrupt supply chains gives Russia a strategic advantage in international negotiations. By threatening to restrict exports, Russia aims to expose the vulnerability of Western economies. This tactic is designed to create economic instability and leverage political concessions. It is a calculated move to sow discord and undermine Western unity. The resulting political tensions can weaken alliances and shift the balance of power. The world is now acutely aware of the potential consequences of challenging Russia's dominance. The strategic importance of these resources cannot be overstated, and the global community must navigate this complex landscape with caution. Russia's export threats send shockwaves through NATO and the European Union. The geopolitical landscape is shifting, and the stakes have never been higher. As tensions rise, the need for a cohesive strategy becomes paramount. The alliance, formed as a bulwark against Soviet aggression, now faces a new kind of challenge. This is not just a military alliance anymore. It is a coalition that must navigate complex economic and political waters. This is not a conflict of tanks and troops, but of resources and economic leverage. The battlefield has shifted from physical to economic, where control over resources can dictate the balance of power. It is a test of unity and resolve. The ability of NATO and the EU to stand together in the face of these threats will determine their future relevance and effectiveness. For the EU, the threat is particularly acute. The European Union, with its diverse member states, must find common ground to address these challenges. Many European nations rely heavily on Russian energy. This dependency has been a double-edged sword, providing necessary resources while also creating significant vulnerabilities. Natural gas pipelines from Russia crisscross the continent. These pipelines are the lifelines of many European economies, making the threat of disruption a powerful tool of leverage. This dependence has long been a point of contention. Debates over energy policy and security have been ongoing, but the current crisis has brought these issues to the forefront. Now, with the potential addition of uranium, titanium, and nickel to the equation, the EU's vulnerability is thrown into sharp relief. These critical materials are essential for various industries, from energy to technology, making their secure supply crucial. NATO's response is crucial. The alliance must present a united front, demonstrating that it can adapt to new types of threats and maintain its relevance in a changing world. Internal divisions will only embolden Russia. Unity is not just a strategic advantage, it is a necessity for survival in this new geopolitical landscape. A coordinated strategy is essential. This involves not only military preparedness, but also economic resilience and diplomatic efforts. This will involve diversifying supply chains. Reducing dependency on any single source of critical resources is a key step in building resilience. It will require finding alternative sources for these critical resources. Investing in renewable energy and forging new trade partnerships are vital components of this strategy. This will not be easy. The transition to new energy sources and supply chains will be complex and costly, requiring significant effort and investment. It will require significant investment. Governments and private sectors must collaborate to fund the necessary infrastructure and research. It will necessitate forging new partnerships. Building alliances with other nations and regions will be crucial in securing a stable supply of resources. But the stakes are too high to ignore. The consequences of inaction could be severe, affecting not just the economy, but also the political stability of the region. The credibility of NATO and the EU is on the line. Their ability to effectively respond to this crisis will shape their future roles on the global stage. Failure to act decisively could have far-reaching consequences. The ripple effects of a resource crisis could destabilize economies and political systems far beyond Europe. The coming months will be a test of leadership. European leaders must demonstrate their ability to navigate this complex crisis with wisdom and foresight. European leaders must make tough choices. Balancing immediate needs with long-term strategies will be a delicate and challenging task. They must balance economic realities with strategic imperatives. The decisions made now will have lasting impacts on the region's security and prosperity. The decisions they make will shape the future of Europe and the transatlantic alliance for years to come. The path they choose will determine whether Europe can emerge stronger and more resilient from this crisis. Across the Atlantic, The United States watches Russia's maneuvers with growing concern. The geopolitical landscape is shifting, and the US must stay vigilant to protect its interests and maintain global stability. While less directly reliant on Russian resources than Europe, the US is not immune to the potential fallout. The interconnected nature of the global economy means that any disruption can have far-reaching consequences, affecting everything from trade to consumer prices. The interconnected nature of the global economy means that shocks in one area can quickly ripple outwards. A disturbance in the supply chain can lead to increased costs, delays, and even shortages of essential goods, impacting businesses and consumers alike. The Biden administration faces a complex challenge. Balancing economic stability with national security is no easy task, and the administration must navigate these turbulent waters with both caution and decisiveness. On the economic front, the US must work to mitigate the impact of any potential supply chain disruptions. This involves not only addressing immediate concerns, but also building a more resilient supply chain for the future. This will involve coordinating with allies to secure alternative sources of critical materials. International cooperation is key, as no single nation can tackle these challenges alone. It may also require tapping into strategic reserves. These reserves are a safety net, designed to provide a buffer in times of crisis, ensuring that the nation can continue to function smoothly even when external supplies are disrupted. But the ramifications extend beyond the purely economic. The military sector is also deeply intertwined with these supply chains, and any disruption can have serious implications for national security. The US military-industrial complex relies on a steady supply of these resources. From raw materials to advanced components, the production of military hardware is a complex and resource-intensive process. Titanium, for example, is crucial for the production of advanced fighter jets and other military hardware. This lightweight, strong metal is essential for building the high-performance equipment that the US military depends on. Any disruption to its supply could have serious implications for US military readiness. Delays in production can lead to gaps in capability, potentially leaving the nation vulnerable at a critical time. The US must also consider the geopolitical implications of Russia's actions. Every move on the global chessboard has consequences, and the US must be prepared to respond strategically. This move is a clear attempt by Putin to exploit vulnerabilities in the Western alliance. By creating instability, Russia aims to weaken the cohesion and resolve of its adversaries. The US must work to counter this strategy by strengthening ties with allies and presenting a united front. Diplomatic efforts are crucial in maintaining solidarity and ensuring that the alliance remains strong. The situation calls for a delicate balancing act. The US must weigh its responses carefully, considering both the immediate and long-term impacts of its actions. The US must respond firmly to Russian aggression without escalating the situation. A measured approach is essential to avoid further destabilization while still demonstrating resolve. It must find ways to support its allies while protecting its own interests. This includes providing economic aid, military support, and diplomatic backing to those affected by Russia's actions. The stakes are high, and the decisions made in the coming months will have lasting consequences. The US must navigate this complex landscape with wisdom and foresight, ensuring that it emerges stronger and more resilient. Looking long-term, Putin's strategic restrictions could lead to a reshaping of the global economic and political landscape. Countries will seek to develop new supply chains, possibly creating new alliances and trade agreements. At the same time, these restrictions will deepen the divide between East and West, potentially leading to a new Cold War. The world may have to brace for a more fractured, less cooperative global order. As the world braces for the consequences of Putin's strategic export restrictions, the US, NATO, and the EU must rethink their approach. Will the West continue its hardline stance, or will negotiations open up? The future of global power, economy, and stability hangs in the balance. One thing is clear: this is not just about resources, it's about who controls the future of global order. Thank you for watching Milwaukee Insights. As the world changes, we will continue to provide deep analysis and updates on these critical global developments. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, share this video, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. The world is watching. Make sure you stay informed.